From the crossroads of the United States, this is Good Morning America with Charles Gibson, Diane Sawyer, and Robin Roberts.
Every year, a New York Magazine, which is a local magazine here in New York, although it's published around the country, does an issue called Best Doctors. And there's a story in this year's issue that really caught our eye. Most of us have known someone with scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. But then there's 17-year-old Crystal Egginger, whose extreme form of that condition nearly bent her in half and taught her lessons about family, friends, and, well, it also taught her how to stand tall in the face of adversity. It has been a tough battle since the first few moments of little Crystal Egginger's life. Just after she was born, she was taken from her mother's arms and transported away via medical helicopter as doctors frantically tried to figure out what was wrong. It was a devastating diagnosis, a rare genetic disorder called Vader syndrome, which caused a number of abnormalities in Crystal's tiny body. As she grew older, one glaring problem would plague the pretty redhead, a spinal malformation called chronic kyphosis. A cousin of scoliosis, it causes the spine to bend forward at an extreme angle. By the time she was 8 years old, Crystal was bent nearly in half, her spine at 90 degrees. Adolescence was tough. Taunts of her schoolmates, even the thoughtless cruelty of adults, would send Crystal home crying. Life became intolerable for this teenager, nicknamed Hunchback by her sophomore year of high school. It had gotten so bad, she dropped out. Crystal's backbone was so curved that 3 attempts at spinal fusion hadn't helped, and the constant pressure was damaging Crystal's internal organs. She needed another solution, and she needed it fast. Help came from Dr. Ohenoba Boakye at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York. A specialist in scoliosis, Dr. Boakye knew instantly what had to be done, but it came at great risk. The surgery he suggested could cause paralysis, even death, but if it worked, it would give renewed hope to a young girl who had just about given up. But Crystal was ready to take a risk on the doctor who was confident he had the answer, ready to take a chance that someday she might be able to stand tall. During the operation, Dr. Boakye actually cut out the bent portion of Crystal's spine and then reconnected the straight portions artificially, surrounding them with titanium mesh and adding 2 steel rods for strength. Now Crystal has the posture of a ballerina, a happy teenager ready to tackle the world from an entirely different point of view. And Crystal and Joanne Egginger are joining us along with Dr. Ohenoba Boakye, and it's good to have all of you with us. Tough to watch, huh?
Yes.
But you've lived that. You've gone through that. You've lived it. But it's still tough to see the pictures?
Yes.
And go back over all that. I mentioned, Dr. Boakye, that so many people have seen people with scoliosis. But how many cases of Vader syndrome have you seen?
Vader syndrome is not as common as scoliosis. I've seen several patients with that condition because at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York, which is a well-renowned orthopedic institute, we see problems from all over the world.
This is a gutsy kid. I don't see how you live with it.
She's very brave, and it really broke my heart when I saw her in that condition. And I've treated patients with that problem. I knew I could help her. I just needed her to believe that she could be helped.
It looks so painful. Was it painful, Crystal?
Yes.
Where did it hurt most?
Right on my bone.
Right on the bone in your back. And when you heard there might be an operation that would help, did you think, oh yeah, I got to do that?
Yes.
Even though it could be risky?
Yes.
I'm asking Crystal about physical pain, but of course there's enormous emotional pain as well.
Definitely.
Kids just don't understand and don't get it. So what did she go through?
She went through torment from the other kids at school, constantly being teased. We couldn't go out in public without someone making comments about her, the way she looked, and it was very hard.
Hard on Crystal?
Yes.
Hard
and everyone.
Hard on Mom?
Yes.
Hard on Mom as well. You were sure you could help?
I was very sure I could help her because I've done this before on several children with the same problems and even different problems. And there's really the need to understand the patient's need, understand the pathology.
Residual problems afterward?
Sometimes, but in her case, she had had her whole spine fused, and removing a section of it and reconnecting it would have actually caused her to have a straighter spine, but hopefully not have any problems with that section any longer.
I was asking Crystal where the pain was, and she said right on the bone. But can you live with this condition? I mean, it seems to me the strain on organs would be so great that...
That's correct. And in her case, it was really affecting her internal organs, such as her kidney. She had about 30% of the single kidney that she had left. So it was really devastating for her and affecting that.
So I said you're looking at life now from a different angle, standing up tall. How do you feel?
I feel great.
You do? No more pain in that bone?
No.
That's terrific. That's going very well. And how? I mean, you're getting teary, so I
Yes.
know how you feel.
I'm very happy.
Seeing your daughter.
Very happy.
And do kids understand any better? They just don't get it, do they? What you've been through. Well, as I say, a very gutsy kid, so good luck. Thanks. All right. You keep going. All the best to you. Thanks very much, Mom.
Thank you.
And Dr. Boakye, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
as well.
for having us.